following video demonstrates how AutoCAD drawings can be reverse engineered to try and get the 3D information back. We begin by going to our CAD folder, right clicking and choosing Import. Select the 3D DXF and press Open. The scale is not particularly important, but obviously units of the DXF are important because if we're reading the drawing in from architects, we usually have to set that to millimeters. Press OK, n4ce reads in the drawing, or rather reads in the DXF. And as we can see, we have the layers I would normally expect to see them, and we have a Y in the 3D column for most of these layers, indicating that there are objects with heights other than 0. I'll go to the camera. n4ce draws the DXF for us. I'll just turn some of the layers off that I know I don't want. So I'll make the bottom bank layer current. I'll turn off the sections, the text, and the grid. Okay, so zooming in, we can take a look at what we've got. If I use the Element Show tool and click a point, n4ce highlights it and pops up with a text window, giving us a quick report. It tells us that it's a 1-point symbol on the layer levels, and it does indeed have a valid Z. Hence the data is 3D. If I click another object, I'll click the piece of text next to it. Again, have a valid Z, and obviously the text string is as we would expect it to be in terms of matching the height. If I query a feature string, this purple one here, n4ce only highlights the short straight segment, so this feature has been exploded. We'll have to take that into account later, but it tells us it's a line on the layer bottom of bank. If I query a contour, you can see we actually have a continuous polyline this time. Height of this contour is 0.5 meters, and it's on the layer contour norm. So we have quite a lot of 3D data there available to us. It's up to us now to decide the best way forward. We could obviously use the contours, but they would generate far more points than would obviously have originally been surveyed, so we'll only use that as a last resort. So we'll begin by actually trying to create the survey from the ground up, using the points and then the features and so on. If I close down the CAD model, go to the Models folder, right click, do New Normal, and we'll just say for the minute, points from points. So what we're going to do is we're only going to use those crosses to begin with. I'll go to the camera, use the backcloth tool to put the CAD information behind this model so that we can ask n4ce to trace over it. Just change the colours to dark grey so that hopefully we can see n4ce doing its work. Zoom to extents. There we go, we can see the CAD information behind us now. So to begin, we go to the Points menu and we come down to the Generate option and we select From Symbols, because the points we picked earlier, i.e. the survey crosses, are actually AutoCAD blocks, or as we call them in n4ce, symbols. So I pick that. n4ce is asking us first of all, how do we want to define the height of the points? Well, we want to use the assigned height, so we'll leave it on the assigned option, and I'll say SL as the code. Point number is not particularly important at the moment, and I'll just press OK. I'll rectangle the job, and there we go. We zoom in, you can see lots of spot levels now. If I quickly change the point colours, we can see that our new survey points are indeed on top of the original CAD points, with obviously the same levels. If I create a DTM from that, we've got 5 duplicate points, and somewhere there are 5 points one on top of each other. n4ce doesn't really worry about that, it just models the first one it comes to and generates a report to tell you there are actually 4 others, and it can generate the report and actually plot those on screen for you if you need them. So we'll just tidy up the triangles by deleting them by line. If I go to the 3D view, we can see that we have a ground model of sorts, but there's no honouring of triangles in there at all, because obviously we've got no features to control them. So we'll repeat the process now, but this time try bringing in the features.